You mean I need to sing the Gentle Jesus song again?
Okay. So that's my intro. That's my top 50 games of all time.
Oh, I see.
No, I use
And
this.
that's what you picked.
Yeah, I used
All the
this
songs in the
one.
world, you decided that's what you wanted to go with.
It's just some kind of a free sample that I used when I did reviews.
Mm.
I used it during the explanation, just like a background.
Oh.
All right. Well, hello there.
Hi there.
It's definitely another episode of Würfelcast. It's been a
Huzzah.
while. Huzzah! It's been a while.
It has been.
You know, we've been away. We've been busy. We've been doing stuff, and
And by
somebody's
we, you mean you.
you as well. I'm sure you did something.
Really, I didn't. I never do anything. I'm a very boring person sometimes.
I see. But let's make it less boring and talk about my top 50 games of all time.
All right. So
And
exciting.
yeah, yeah.
Oh, that's an
You'll
extreme close-up.
agree. What?
That's an
Oh,
extreme close-up. I wonder how that happened.
something happened with your camera, yes.
So
But
it just suddenly changed. Well, I'll see if I can fiddle with the settings.
yes, while I introduce the topic. So before I did,
I'll just move back.
no, it just doesn't zoom anymore. It kind of lost the picture quality. But
Well, you talk and I'll turn the camera off and turn it
yeah,
back on again.
yeah. Anyway, yeah. So previously I've done a top 100, but now I thought like I don't know. So
That was too much work?
yeah. First of all, top 50 feels a bit more, personal. When you go to your top 100, I don't know, your 100 and your 99 and your 87, whatever, they are also so close to each other. They're also same, kind of in the sense of how much I like them. And, it's like, yeah, this game number 87 could be 112 next time. They can just, rotate too much. So I didn't feel like it brings much to the table to talk about 100 games. Top 50 feels more, these are my favorite games, but as well, my number 50 could be number 60, 70. At some point it could be number 30. It could be like they rotate. They you know today I like it, tomorrow I'm done with it and I found something new, etc. There's always that. And of course I use the pub meeple ranking system where it gives you comparisons. um, I've played a total of, so it's somewhere around 900 titles that I rated, but we have to take into consideration that I also rated some of the games from same series, like I don't know, exit room games, unlock, time stories, all of these. Some of them have several ratings because they are like separate stories. So I rated them separate stories, but they're all the same system, same game. So
Mm-hmm.
even if we make a robust guess that there's though it's not 50, but let's just say, to make the number more rounded, let's say we take away 50 entries that are kind of the same thing. So I've played around 850 different games, something like that, maybe more. So it's not much compared
Yeah,
to
that's not very
many.
many.
Yeah, not very many compared to other reviewers, compared to you, I don't play a lot. Yeah, I don't play a lot. I haven't played in a while recently. I don't know. There's been other stuff going on, and I've been playing video games and watching Korean shows, etc., and some other stupid movies like I don't
Mm-hmm.
know, Uglies, for example, is a weird movie.
Okay.
You probably know that one, no?
I've seen it on Netflix. I haven't watched it.
Uh, you're fine. You're fine. Anyway,
Mm-hmm.
anyway, yeah, I use Pod Meeple, and that's how it came up. It's I I no, I forgot to add two games that I would consider to be in my top 50, so I added them post production, let's say.
I
But
see.
mostly, yeah, but mostly it's how it ended up. And my top 10, my top 15 aren't changing much. But yeah. Anyway, I don't know. My head is not working today. But
That's. I think you could have just left out the today. Um.
you sneaky. Anyway, let's just start.
Let's
Let's just
go.
start. Let's talk about games. You'll comment on some of them.
I
It's
might
50.
comment on most of them. Um.
Yeah, it's 50 through 26. There's a lot of games that you know. I think all of the games that you know, and I think you like many of them,
Okay.
or at least enjoy. All right, let's get to this screen over here and start with the number 50. Number 50, I played on the cruise, and mm, I think you taught me, and you I think played as well, like for the first time, and then randomly I taught it to some other people by just remembering the rules, like how we played, etc. So I might have missed a
Mm-hmm.
few rules, so that
Uh-oh.
too. But no. Eventually, we all looked at the rule book. It's all good. It's all good. So I was able to pass on the torch from you to other people. It was fun.
Okay.
My number 50 is Lacrimosa.
Ah, yes. You did learn that one from me.
Lacrimosa. So yes, this is this is a game about Mozart, and it's loosely about Mozart. It's I don't know. You are kind of following him through his travels, whatever. There's not much theme, but what's cool about the game? Why do I like the game? And I'm not a fan of the art, or I'm a musician, but wasn't keen on the theme as well. The mechanisms is something that is really cool, and
Wait,
those what?
did you say you're not a fan of the art, so you're just a fan of the modes?
Okay, let's just move on. So the cards, they have the top and the bottom, and the top is basically like main actions, different actions you can do, and the bottom are some bonuses. And when you are playing those cards, you play them on the bottom and the top of your tableau, and you basically choose which side of the card to use, which part of the card to use in which slot. And this kind of a programming is really interesting. It's a tight resource management because you cannot have more than four of each of the resources. You move around the board, collecting bonuses. This is the weakest part, I think, in this game. And then you are trying to create the majority in this musical notes, basically writing pieces, I would say. And it's kind of it's a weird majority rule
It
there.
definitely is.
It's really hard to explain. I don't think I can explain it right now, so it doesn't like, so it's not based on the color on your color that you put there. It's more based on how many of doublets or the eighth or the 16th is in there. So there's that. You collect points. Whoever has the most points is the winner of the game. The biggest part is choosing those cards, and you always buy new cards to put in those slots. They are better cards than your initial ones. I enjoy it.
I see. Good. This is a fine
Good.
game. I haven't played it in a while. I enjoyed it when I got into it. I thought it was really quite interesting, but I haven't had a chance to go back to it.
Yeah. All right. My number 49 is a game that it seemed like only I own, especially during the cruise when they were talking about that during the show as well. The Dice Star were talking about that game briefly, and they said that Ilya has this game, and that's Subterra 2, the infamous game that was about to not be delivered. Then somebody picked it up, and I gave even more money to a new company though to get it shipped. So at least I got something, and so I got Subterra 2. It's like Subterra 1 but enhanced. So instead of the cave, you have a temple. There's now, instead of the cards, you have a die that you roll, and then it gives you those different hazards. And you're trying to get in, find the keys, find the artifact, grab the artifact, and if at least one of you survives and gets out with the artifact, you win the game, and you're constantly abused by those hazards. You roll the die all the time, and there's a volcano. Eventually, a volcano will, how do you say, Erupt. Yes, a volcano will erupt, and then you, trying to escape. You have those different special abilities like aristocrat here, or a strongman, or rogue, or whatever you. And also add the expansions, 2 expansions that add even more. Not a lot of complexity, but make the game even harder, though it is hard because it's random. But I kind of enjoy the exploration side of this game. It's flipping over the tiles, like I'm gonna go left. I don't know what's in there, or I can use my actions to peek what's in front of me, but it's kind of wasting because we need to discover the whole temple. We need to find those keys. So there's that, the risk management, the risk reward situation going on. Mostly it's bad tiles. So wherever you go, but some of them are really bad. Some of them are not so bad. Some of them will insta kill you in a sense, like cave-ins, etc. And yeah, it's just fun, but not for everyone.
Yeah, I've not played this one, but I really didn't like Subterra 1, so I did not rush into this one. Let's say it like that.
Yeah, one small thing about Subterra 1 is that when you're down, you're down. You cannot do anything. In Subterra 2, you're also down. You cannot do anything except you can still walk up to 1 tile. So at least you move, and if you want to get saved, you move towards other people so they so they can save you faster. So that's better in Subterra 2. Mm-hmm. Yeah. All right. My number 48 is another caliber of a game. It's Subterra 2 is very light in a sense. Yeah, random rolling dice. This one is heavy. It's big. I think it's out of those that I played, I think it's the best, one of the best of their games. And number 48 is Anachrony. and don't buy the whatever the huge box. There's I think this the essential edition now that you can buy, and it's probably much better. And
Just the
you
base
can
game.
see, yeah. I mean, base game is enough. If you won't be playing it, each and every day, 24/7, you'll be fine with the base game. So I got the Kickstarter copy when it first went up on Kickstarter, and I think I got some of the modules. There's some extras in that kind of a core box, and it will be enough. You don't need any of the expansions. Just you will not play with them.
No.
But for an average person, if this is your lifestyle game, of course. But for an average person, you don't need that. You can see there's a lot going on. Now, yes, there's quite a few rules. It's a heavier game, and there's a lot of iconography. But this one, the picture might scare you. But eventually, once you start playing, it's not that complicated. It's a medium weight game, masked, disguised as this heavy game. It's not with the Lacerda. It's not, it's everything makes sense. Iconography makes sense, and of course, if you will buy the game, buy those robots, the exosuits, because without them, you would just have a tile, and you put your worker, which is also a small tile, on top of this a little bit bigger tile, and it's hard to see. With those robots, they have slots, and you slide your workers in them, and it just looks really cool because there is your inner board and there's the outer board, the main board, and on the outer board, you can only go to those spaces in exosuits because the Earth is post-apocalyptic Earth. You cannot breathe that air; it's toxic. And then you have your own board where you buy the different super projects and the different building tiles, which become the worker spots as well. What's cool about this game is that you have your pool workers, and when you use them, they become exhausted. But for every person, it will be a different timing of getting your workers exhausted. Somebody will have more workers, and you have different workers. So you have engineers, you have scientists, and they can go into different places. So there's the worker variety as well. And I like how you can force your workers to move from exhausted to active, basically not getting
By getting them drunk on water.
Yeah, drunk on water and no sleep. They don't sleep. They work, but you get minus points. They get frustrated, and so on. You can do it. You can move your workers, whenever you want, because moving your workers from exhausted to active is just a worker placement action as well, or something like that. It's just an action. So there's a lot of fun, and the only confusing part is the time travel thing, where you borrow resources, but then you have to go back in time to give those resources back. It's a bit,
it's a fancy loan.
Yes, which I would, if there would be a new version, let's say, second edition of Anachrony, not the essential edition, I would just throw this mechanism away and do something else with that. Because the fun of the game is the worker placement. All right, that's my 48 Anachrony.
Very well. It's a fine game. It is a game that you will relearn the rules every time you open the box, though.
Yes. But it kind of comes back easily.
It does. It's not a complicated game, but there's a lot there that... This is one that I'm afraid to get out because I know I'm just going to have to relearn the rules every time I open it.
Yeah, that's true. All right. The next few games will be much lighter games. And one of those games which it seems only I like, but it just works. It worked with several people. I just enjoy. I haven't played it in a while, but when I do, it's always fun. 47 is Dice Stars. Dice Stars is my go-to roll and write game. And I have planets as well. But they are just small bonuses. And you can see it's as abstract as it can be, so you have this grid, based on colors and columns of colors and rows of numbers, and you try to fill it up, maybe even double your points, get the most points. Now you have those dice and you choose to roll 1, 2, or 3 dice, take them out of the bag, and they have different colors. And so you roll them, and then you have this kind of active pool of dice, and you draft from that pool. Now, you can draft based on colors or based on numbers. So when you say, I want to take number 3, I have to take all number 3s. And if there's too many number 3s and you cannot fit them in here, you cannot take them. Eventually, if you get to the point where you cannot take any of the dice, it's the end of the game. So if at least one of you isn't able to take dice. What's cool about that, you also collect stars. And when you collect stars, you mark them down here. You can double your points, but if you will not finish that row of stars, your points become 0 for that row. So there's a risk-reward situation. And it's just fun to kind of manage your columns and rows. Sometimes, like, you know exactly how many blue, black, purple dice are there, and you can see that the active pool has, let's say, 2 black dice. So, and you kind of want to take them, and you only have 2 spots for the black dice, let's say. And so you're trying to get only these 2 dice, but if you take 3 dice out of the bag, there's a possibility. Though I think the black ones are only 2. I'm sorry, that's a wrong. Yeah, let's say orange dice. Yeah, you want to be for them to be fewer on the active pool, in the active pool. But if you take too many dice from the bag, you might end up with more orange dice, so you cannot take them anymore. So that's where people always ask, but it's best to always take 3 dice out of the bag, not 1, not 2. No, sometimes you don't want to risk because you don't want too many of the same number, too many of the same color in the active pool, because you have to take all of them and then you cannot. Anyway, that's a really fun game. I like it. Dice Stars number 47.
Yes, it is. Yeah, this is a fairly generic roll and write, but it did come out before all of the more modern sort of glut of them. So
yeah, that's the thing. I don't want to play too, like, when roll and write becomes this kind of roll and something, and it becomes or there's so many variations of those. When it becomes too complicated, I feel like just make it as a board game with pieces, with different stuff. That's where I draw the line. I like the simplicity of that. I just take it out, I play it. It doesn't take much space, much time. There's
that is all true.
Very few rules. Yeah, so I like roll and writes in their purest form.
Very well.
All right, my number 46 is another game where I champion this game and nobody else does, but I still like it. It's another one that is very simple in its core, and you are playing cooperatively. You can also play competitively, but it's a cooperative game, or a solo game. You can definitely play it solo. The cooperative nature is just fun because the cards are distributed amongst many players, and that's number 46, The Last Expedition. What it has cool tarot-sized cards. There's a reimplementation of that. There's a Judge Dredd version, though nobody liked Judge Dredd version. This one is still cool. You can see you have 3 survivors. You want to find the lost city of Z. There's also a book. There's also a movie, I think. Yeah, there's a movie that I also watched. And you have those huge cards that have... At first, I wasn't keen on the illustrations, but then it kind of grew on me. I think it's good illustrations. It's a lot of fun to look at those. They are big, borderless cards, so the pictures are cool. And then you play the cards out. If you play cooperatively, you play those cards out. At first, they must go in numerical order, then they must go in whatever order you play them. There's like the day cycle and the night cycle. And by playing those cards in a row, you create a row of dangers. And then you must go from left to right and choose options on those. Mostly you have to spend food or you have to have spend shelter. And there's like those usual icons that you can also find on the cards, and you can use those icons. If you don't have, let's say, shelter, then there's Bessie, who is a shelter person, and you must spend her health instead. You must have at least one survivor getting to the end, and there's that. The main focus is to get the walking symbol, the walking guy symbol, and yeah, you just going through. It's a puzzle in a sense. You're just trying to manage those cards, those dangers as much as possible. You know, there's yellow. Yellow means you have to do that. Red means you choose one of the options, and the blue is totally optional.
Mm-hmm.
Sometimes you want to lose health in order to get food, because if you don't have food, you have to feed your
look
people.
Look at my life.
Yeah. So anyway, the last expedition is a lot of fun.
All right. Yeah, I've not played this in a very long time.
It's another one. Just take it out and play it. There's not much going on.
This one's fine solo, so I know I can find someone to play it.
Yeah. All right. My number 45, and by the way, hello Daniel. I'm just a little bit sorry. I'm a little busy with managing the numbers, but Kyle will always be there for you and anyone else in the chat.
That's true.
Yeah, my number 45 is an abstract game, but it has theme, and some things make sense. It's a game about growing trees and bushes and, I don't know, creating lakes, whatever. 45 is Evergreen, and Evergreen is so.
I was actually just incorporating the expansion in my box while we were waiting.
I have not played any of the expansions. I think there's the second expansion already. Yeah.
Oh, I just got the first one.
Oh, I have the pines and cacti. I have or cacti. How do you say?
Cacti.
Cacti. Yeah, that's it. So. Yeah, this is a game about is like a spatial puzzle, which I usually don't like, but this one kind of feels okay for me. And so there's the sun, and it moves around the board, and so you create.
Or does the board move around the sun?
Yeah. And the Earth is flat. Hello, flat earthers. Anyway, so this one has you plant trees and other stuff, and you're trying to plant them in a way that they get the most sun, so you can get the most points. How you do that? So basically, at first you draft the different cards, and those different cards give you the opportunity to do stuff. You know, to plant, etc., to move your small trackers here as well, to do better things. And the cards that are not drafted, they are put on the side, and they become the scoring eventually, which I like. So anything you don't draft becomes the scoring. So you have to be. So sometimes when you are choosing out of the last two cards, there's quite a difficult decision to make sometimes. And when you do the spatial puzzle, once you plan the stuff, you cannot only think in that one way, let's say from top to bottom. You have to think from right to left, from left to right, from bottom to top. You have to think of everything in advance, because otherwise you will plan the trees in a way that, yeah, here you can get a lot of points, but then when the sun goes from right to left, you don't get any points. So you always think about the future. Evergreen is cool. I don't know what cacti and pines do, because they probably don't want.
I can tell you.
And there's also the giant trees and mushrooms.
That's the new one. Yeah.
I have to add it to my wish list.
Ooh.
And this one Okay, so there's a
Yeah.
lot going on.
There is. Yeah, I mean the expansion's fine. The only problem is you have to like sort all the cards at the beginning to sort of add one in and then take another one out, which I never like.
I see.
But it's fine. I like the game.
Yeah, one cool thing is that it's a little bit of multiple solitaire because everybody has their own board. When you think about other games like photosynthesis, and there's that game about trees and leaves, autumn leaves, whatever was the game called. It's also like an abstract game. I don't remember. All of them are the communal board. And with photosynthesis, I always heard that it's very brutal. You can cut somebody off. You can do a lot of nasty stuff. Here, nothing nasty is going on. You build your own stuff. You just try to be the only kind of a multiplayer is drafting cards.
Mm-hmm.
All right. Let's get to number
All right.
44. My number 44 is another easier game, and it's a cooperative game. And number 44 is The Spill. Yeah. It's when you spill the drink. But
Yeah.
no. Actually, it's about saving the marine life from the spilled oil. Cool part about the game, it's a cooperative game. It's pandemic-like in a sense. You have to manage. So there's some of the cooperative games are like adventures, etc. With some other cooperative games are like pandemic, where the crisis is there's a crisis from the start, and it's just growing and growing and growing. You're trying to manage it as much as possible. You will not cure everything, but you're trying to manage it as long as possible to get to your objectives and win the game. Here as well, you can make it easy, hard, and even easy is hard. So cool part about the game is that you have this tower, and then you throw the dice into that tower, and then they fall into those 4 rectangular spaces. And how they fall is,
Yeah. Oh.
yeah. Whatever space they go onto. And then you have to distribute them based on the sectors, those spaces. And the oil will eventually kill the animals, and you're trying to save them. And you have your small ships that you move around the boards. You have certain amount of spaces you can move. You have your special abilities that you can use, and there's a lot of ways to lose. And you're just trying to get to certain objectives. And there's like, I don't know, you have to save 2 animals of each type, whatever is something like that, or you have to clean out 10 spills, whatever. The different objective anyway. And it's fun, and it's hard, and you will lose most likely. It's random in a sense how the dice fall, but I just like the dice tower, and I like to. It's not that many rules. You just take it out. Everything is easy to get into. Yep.
Yeah, I haven't played this one.
You have not?
No, not this one. Didn't look all that interesting to me, so I kind of passed on it.
Okay. Yeah, it's this pandemic-like game. All right. Let's get to number 43. Another light game, very light game that I introduced to my colleagues recently when we went to Turkey. So I took just one game to, it's they like to play the word games. They like Alias. So I was like, this game is then for you. And it's 43, just one. Just one is a bit loosey-goosey on the rules. A little bit. But, I mean, you can interpret.
Just
and
like
you can
one rule, right?
Yeah, just one rule, but
Just
there's
one.
some like, there's like the family of words, whatever. We play it how we play it. And sometimes we agree on using some extras as clues. So you can kind of customize the game as you play. And it's a game about having those cards, and I don't know why it's black and white. So you have the cards, and then you have a certain amount of cards. You go through them. One person is guessing. The other ones are writing those hints on these tablets or whatever they are. Boards over here. Just one means that you cannot, of course, it's like an alias. You cannot have the same kind of family of a word. You cannot have the same word, etc. You know, and you're trying to with just one word. You're trying to hint on that word. You know, and the other cool part is that the hinters they write their hints down and then they show it to each other before they show it to the culprit. They show it to each other, and if anything is similar, it's erased. So sometimes, like here, just say destroy Android film. What? Whatever. Okay. Let's say it was something like Android destroy film. Let's say it was Star Wars. Whatever. You know, and then let's say somebody said film and somebody said movie. They're kind of the same family, or I don't know, or both wrote down movie. Let's say they are both erased, and then you're only left with destroy, and you're like, okay, so how can I guess this word now? So yeah, it's just a word game, but a lot of fun.
It's a fun word game.
Just one.
All right.
Another one, which is a less complicated game that I really enjoy, and I like how it manages to have this huge random element, but not be bothersome. Number 42 is Camel Up. Of course, the second edition. I don't know if you can still buy the first edition, but Camel Up,
sure
the second edition.
Yeah, probably online for very little money.
I mean, the second edition is just updated artwork, updated pieces. The pyramid is not cardboard; it's plastic. It's just much nicer, and it's all about camels racing. And you're doing several stuff. So you on your turn you can choose different stuff. You can choose to put down a tokens to maybe slow down or speed up the camel. You can take a ticket, which is like a prediction which camel will come first or second, whatever. You take those different tickets. You can predict the end of the race. You can put down the cards in who will be the loser, who will be the winner, etc. And so the main thing is that you can take this pyramid, shake it up. There is a button, pushing it, the die comes out, and when whatever, let's say the number 3 red comes out, that's how many spaces will the red camel move. And they can stack, they can be on top of each other. And if, let's say, the blue camel starts moving, it will move this yellow camel as well. And I think whoever was on the bottom is closer to the finish line than the one on the top. Something like that. And sometimes they move backwards as well. There is also a black and white camels that are nasty camels that will that move in the other direction. They move from the finish line back to the start, and they can also mess it up and move those colorful camels. And it's a game about it's not a race game, but it's more of like a prediction game. It's random, but it's a lot of fun, and you cheer for those camels, and then eventually, this yellow camel is way behind, but then it spurts and then it like has a kind of a turbo boost going on, and yeah, it's just a lot of fun.
It's a very silly game. I remember when this first came out. I took it to one of the game days and ended up playing it the whole day because I had the only copy around. It was the first edition. But it was so insanely popular that day. I mean, we must have played it 9 or 10 times. It was just absolutely a hit. And I've enjoyed it since then as well. And I definitely agree that the more updated version is the way to go.
Yep. All right, let's get to another game. This one is a little bit bigger, and this one is the one that I got as a Secret Santa gift. I didn't believe in this game when it was on Kickstarter. It felt like another Cool Mini or Not or Come On or whatever game, just another with miniatures and fighting and like Zombicide.
Some of my favorite things.
Yeah, but this one, I haven't played it in a while. So, and quite a few of those games I don't own anymore. But for me, owning a game or having a game in a collection has a more of a like strategic point. It's sometimes I really like those games, but I don't play them with my friends, so my friends don't like them, so I don't keep them in collection because I have this tight rule of only 50 games in collection. So, and sometimes I just want to have new games in my collection. It doesn't mean that I don't like the games that I sell. I really like them, but not all of them are in my collection anymore. Number 41 is Blood Rage, one of those games that I don't own, but I can definitely play, and I will definitely enjoy a lot. This is a hybrid of Ameritrash and Eurogame, if we use those words, though nowadays every game is hybrid in a sense. Almost every game. It has those huge minis, etc., and you are managing your kind of rage points, and you use them to buy. Basically, first of all, you draft cards. You draft several cards. You know, you upgrade your clan leader. You get the objectives or missions to get points. You can draft monsters, etc. So you are trying to make yourself bigger, better, etc. And then you put down those different miniatures and try to fight for those regions. When you fight, you also use cards. You put down the cards, and you have this kind of a base value. If you have upgraded your clan leader or your warriors, you know they are better value. Eventually, you compare numbers, and then you win or lose that stuff, and there's the small rewards that you have on those different regions. Eventually, in each age, one of the regions will be destroyed, and you have less and less space. It becomes even tighter. But it's all about not who kills somebody first, but about the points. And even by losing battles, you can gain points. It's called Loki strategy, where a loser gets a lot of points by, I don't know, by sending the troops to hell or whatever. It's like different stuff. Anyway, it's a lot of fun. It looks cool. It has minis. And it's not your typical Mary Thrashy, you know, in your face fighting game.
It's a fine game. It's one I quite enjoy, although I've had underwhelming plays with it, but I've also met some people who really love this game, and when you play it with somebody who really likes it, it can be a lot of fun.
Let's see. Yeah. Anyway, let's get to number 40. My number 40 is another smaller game, though. At some point, it was re-editioned into a much bigger box, useless box, because
useless box.
because they made the box with a sensitive that there might be expansions, but I don't think there will ever be new expansions for this game, so half of the box is empty.
Okay.
Think about wasting space. Anyway, number 40 is Valley of the Kings.
Oh.
The first edition. The first edition was, there were, I think 4, was it 3 or 4 boxes? I don't remember exactly.
There were 3.
It's 3 boxes. They were small boxes. You know, it's like, if you think about maybe Star Realms even smaller, but something like that. Like, put the 2 talk boxes together, it's this box. Or Tiny Epic series, the same kind of a size. And smaller cards. So this one is a premium edition. It has better art, bigger cards. I don't think that I enjoy much bigger cards. You can glance over the information. You can figure out the information in the cards easier in a sense, but it also takes much more space. Because you are drafting those cards. So this is a deck building game where it's a usual deck building game. Take 5 cards, use them as gold, use them as special ability, whatever. But the twist of the game is that you have to entomb the cards, and there's that action, entombing action. It you can later do it via the other cards, etc. And when you're entombing those cards, they become a set collection, and they have different themes, different colors, like artifacts or as you can see, priestesses, sarcophagus, weapons, whatever. You're trying to collect the unique, different unique cards. It's a lot of fun. That's it's a lot of fun to figure out when. So if you entomb the card, it goes away from your deck, so you cannot use it anymore, which is a decision to make. It's sad, but it's a decision to make when you will start entombing those cards and not using them anymore, because the game will eventually end. And if you focus only at building your deck, having powerful cards and playing them, there's no point in that, because you earn points only when the card is entombed. If it's not, if it's in your deck or in your hand, it doesn't give you any points. And the cool another cool part is that you have this pyramid-shaped card market. And if you take a card from you can always take cards only from the bottom of the pyramid, except if you have some special abilities. And then the pyramid crumbles and the cards on top become available, etc. So this crumbling pyramid drafting market is cool as well. Valley of the Kings premium edition, but you can always buy this if you find the small boxes. Buy the small box.
I mean, the big box is nice because the small boxes are really too small. But the big box does have a lot of empty space in it.
A lot, like a lot. But the sorting of the cards is better, and they give you different. Solutions how to mix and match the different sets as well. Make them more in your face, make them more Care Bear or balanced. So that's that. All right, let's get to number 39. Number 39 is another card game, and I think this one is better than its daddy. Yeah, the child of Race to the Galaxy, I think, and Terraforming Mars. 39 is Terraforming Mars Ares Expedition. So it has this mechanism of choosing your action, and if you only and if you choose an action, there's that leader thing and there's the follower thing, and you can see those different cards.
Those aren't the best looking cards, but fortunately,
but I mean, if nobody chooses construction card, there's no construction in this round. It's that kind of a mechanism going on, and you are collecting the resource. You collecting cards. You're trying to get a lot of money to play those cards. They have different icons, etc. They have like in Terraforming Mars, you try to terraform Mars itself, but it's kind of it went sideways. It's not as important as in original Terraforming Mars, though original Terraforming Mars was also a card game in a sense, but this one is even more of a card game. You're trying to get the most points. It's just trying to maximize your tableau, and you're going to play a ton of cards in your tableau. Like you can see there's a lot going on the top and the bottom, and it's only 2 players. You see, there's a lot of stuff going on, and there's also expansions, which I never played, but the base game is still fun.
Yeah, 2 of the expansions you can complete. One you can completely ignore, one you can largely ignore, and one is almost essential. Because it just adds so much. It adds the ways to upgrade those action selection cards, which is really quite fun.
Oh no, I played it. Yeah. I think I played that part. Yeah, I played one of the expansions.
That's the one to play. The other 2, one of them's do you want to play it with 6 players, and one of them's mostly a cooperative scenario. So you can ignore those 2, but
yeah. Okay. Anyway, that's number 39, Terraforming Mars Ares Expedition. My number 38 is a newer game which I played on the cruise before. I liked it, but like sometimes when I'm on the cruise, first of all, sometimes there's a lot of stuff going on. I play a lot of games, and maybe I'm tired, maybe something else, maybe it's jet lag, and I don't appreciate all of the games that much. But then I start thinking about them, then I see them somewhere, and I'm like, it was actually a really good game. So I bought myself a copy of Distilled number 38 with the expansion right away, just to have more booze. It's just more booze.
More booze
and
expansion. Which expansion?
More booze
The Middle Eastern one or the strong cask?
Oh, there's a strong cask. It's like a small promo. I have the Middle East one.
Oh, okay. All right.
Because the strong cask, I think, is not a big expansion. It's something really small.
No, it's a small one. It gives all of the ingredients a special ability. That's basically what it does.
Oh, I see. Maybe I'll get it if I can. I think I searched for it, but couldn't find it.
Yeah. Okay.
The African one was available in the same place. Anyway, this is about brewing your alcohol, but not beer. More like gin, vodka, moonshine,
spirits.
If you're unlucky, then it's moonshine. If you're lucky, then it's that's a prototype.
It definitely is.
Anyway, yeah, so something like that. Anyway, yeah, you are building your distillery. You can get specialists. You can get stronger barrels and bottles, whatever, better ones. You're trying to get the more points. You have to draft the different resources or whatever they are, the ingredients, and then you have to, then you start mixing stuff. Basically, you need to have at least one yeast, one water, and alcohol. You can kind of you can replace some stuff with another stuff. You want to sometimes get those premium ingredients because they give you more, I don't know, money, special abilities, points, whatever.
They do.
And then when you decide what ingredients you use, you shuffle those up. And these are the cards, and then you take out the bottom card and the top card. You take them out; they are not used in the alcohol, and then you reveal the other cards that are still left there, and see if you
see what you got.
See what you got. See if you did get a recipe. If you want to be more safe, you put more of that same ingredient to the mix in order to then be able to, in order to be able to do the recipe. There are special recipes. You also buy new recipes. At first, you can only do vodka and moonshine, but then you have your premium special recipe that only you can do, and all the other stuff. So that's that. It's just a lot of fun to manage your economy and trying to get the right recipes. And I'm usually unlucky with those.
Well, it's part of the game. I enjoyed this a lot, and ever since it's been available online, I've been playing a lot of it lately, because that's a great way to play it too. It handles all the shuffling for you.
I see. I like to shuffle. All right, let's get to number 37. Number 37 is a game that I do not own, but I still love it. I still enjoy it very much. If I'll play it again, I'll play it only with the expansion. And it's one of those games in the series from Ryan Lockhart. And I'm, by the way, waiting for 2 games right now. I think they shipped finally. That was the Creature Caravan and Islebound new edition of Islebound, and I wasn't enamored with the Islebound, but I was like, new edition. Let's try it out. Maybe I'll like it more this time.
Okay.
Sometimes I come back to some games that I didn't enjoy that much, like Distilled. I came back to Distilled and enjoyed it much more. it seems like all the games that I don't enjoy, I play with you, and then I play it
That's
separately
fair enough.
and enjoy them much more. There's nothing to do with you. It just you're always there when
Wonderful.
during the crisis. Anyway, my number 37 is Near and Far. Near and Far is a wonderful game, and it has this kind of a light story implementation. You are, gathering your party of people, and then you are going on an adventure, laying down the tents. It's very thematic, laying down tents. There's those story elements, and you buy all those different cards, etc., that give you points and then give you special abilities. You get the new people, you get turtles or whatever the birds that make you move faster, etc. Collect resources. It's your usual Euro game with the story element. You can play a campaign, you can play a hero mode or whatever. There's like different modes you can play. And Amber Mines is the expansion that adds. So basically, 2 spots. So it's a worker placement game in a sense, because at first you gather your party, you gather your resources, and there's that worker placement thing going on, and then you go on an adventure and read stories. But in the base game, the mines is just, it's a boring thing. It's nothing. You just place down a tent, that's it. In Amber Mines expansion, the mines are expanded into cards that you then have to go through. You build up that mine, you build up that road there as well. Yes, you put down tents, but it's just more fun. And then you have those kind of you have this magical shop as well that replaces that. I don't know what it, don't remember, but it's a lot of fun. The expansion is a must. It's essential. Without that, I would not play. Some people argue, but I would say no. Come on, it just the expansion expands two of the most boring worker spots. How can it be worse?
Well, it does have one obvious downside in that it causes this game, which already takes up a lot of space, to take up a lot more.
True.
But
so I'm not.
You might be playing on the floor if you're using the expansion.
I'm not afraid of that.
All right.
Give me the floor. Give me the game. I'll play it. All right. My number 36, not 46. Let's get back to 46. My number 36, which I also do not own anymore, but I still enjoy it. The problem, I don't. Why I don't own it yet again? I have a tight. Yeah, I have. I don't have much space. I wanna sometimes buy new games and play them. And if the game doesn't, nobody wants to play it with me, then what's the point of keeping the game? But I still enjoy it a lot. Number 36 is Nidavellir. And it has several expansions, though I think I played only the base game. I got the expansion, but then couldn't get it to the table, so it's not like it manages to do a lot there.
Well, both expansions are fun, but you could take or leave either one of them.
Yeah. Anyway, this is a game about collecting cards as a set collection, and they score differently, a little bit differently. Some of them are very similar in scoring, but you're collecting those different dwarves, and you draft them from the central tavern spaces, whatever, and then how you draft them in what order, etc., is that you choose. You have 5 coins, and then you choose those coins based on the taverns, and then some of the coins are left out. And there's also a coin numbered 0 that then allows you to exchange your initial coin into a new coin by summoning up the 2 coins that were left out of the game for that round. It's a little bit tricky to explain, but once you play it, it's very easy. Anyway, you're trying to upgrade your coins to the best possible coins. That's a lot of fun, and just collect cards and score points. That's it. But it's fun.
Yeah,
Yep.
I love this game. It's one of my go-to games if I have people that don't play a lot and I want to kind of introduce them to sort of what this world is. This tends to be one that I'll pick because it's almost always a success. It's
Yes.
what you're doing is very intuitive, and once people see how the coins upgrade, it really starts to take on a little bit more.
It's a success with casual gamers.
Yeah.
For me, at least, I found a success with casual gamers. With seasoned gamers, not everybody likes set collection in that
Mm.
sense.
Well, true.
All right, let's get to number 35, and this is the one that I forgot. I don't know. It's probably
You forgot
because
it.
I rated it a little bit lower. So all the games that I try to filter the games based on the rating. So everything that
Hmm.
is 8 or up is to be considered in my top 50. This one I think
Hmm.
is 7.5, though I might
Mm.
increase the rating to 8 at least. It just I think I didn't update the rating once I played it again. Number 35 is a card game, a very cool card game that I played with you. As you see, the same thing. I played with you, rated
Had a terrible
7.5.
time, and then went
Then
back
then
to
I
it.
played it again, and now it's in my top 50. You know,
Okay.
it's recurring theme here. I see. But it's nothing to do with you. It just every time I play something with you, I just don't like it. It's nothing to do with you. It's probably Victor. No, I'm kidding. It's the game I enjoyed, even with you, because even Fall is the number 35.
Okay.
And there's the expansion as well, which I don't own, and it just came out, I think, or in Essen. I don't know if it's in the shops yet. But this is the game that you also enjoy. It's a game with thousands of cards. I'm exaggerating, but many cards, and you go through many cards, and then you have your gnomes. It's a little bit of that area maturity going on. You're trying to get the runes, whatever they are, and then you are trying to play cards and play some other cards on top of them. Uh, Create your tableau. It's a tableau building game. It's a combo building game. The cards have kind of a multi-use in a sense, and I really enjoy it. And you have to manage your resources as tight resource management as well. It's just a lot of fun to create combos, and I think there's a lot of combos to create uh, because there's so many cards, and some of them are similar to each other, but still, uh, yeah, it's
Yep.
abstract as it could be. It's just all about how to manipulate your cards the best way possible.
That's very true. And to get those token things, the symbols on them.
Yeah, true. All right, even fall, and I hope I can get the expansion at some point.
I'm sure it'll be readily available in a month or two.
And yet again, I really enjoyed playing it with you.
Oh, so happy! I remember you really liked this one. I liked it a lot, but you really liked it. So
Yeah, I think I liked it. So I played it when we played it for the first time. It's just that the first time there's so many cards and kind of not a lot of rules, but a lot of going on with the text,
it's
etc.
it's a game where you won't really be able to keep track of what other people are doing, and so it's one that's a hard one to teach, right? Because you've got to make
Yeah.
sure people understand the rules. Once someone knows what they're doing, it steps back a bit. Um,
Yeah, once you play it again, you kind of it's a game that grows on you as you play it because you
mhm,
are more familiar with the cards.
sure.
All right, my number 34 is a smaller card game that you also really enjoy, and I have this new edition, the Plot Maker edition, and I really want to buy the other sets as well, so I can have more fighters in this
Mm.
combo fighter game. Um, so there was Colossal Game. Uh, edition, but their distribution was abysmal. You could not get it anywhere, and thankfully now the plot maker, the designer itself, it's his or I think somebody else as well. Their company, and they make the combo fighter.
Mhm.
And it's a game about rock paper scissors and fighting.
Ooh.
You lay down cards, and there's that yellow, blue, red. Blue beats red, red beats yellow, yellow beats blue, and so you put down one card each, and your life is your HP is your deck. Once it runs out, you're out of, and you lose. And so when you play the cards, eventually, if I can find it, maybe when you play those cards, eventually, if you win the round by that rock paper scissors mechanism, then there's those small symbols. So if I would win the round with that triangle, red triangle, then after that I can play either the blue triangle or a red symbol, rectangle, and so I can play it behind that card, and then you can see there's new symbols. So now I can play another card, which is one of those. So you create combos of cards. You kind of stack them, and then combine the damage and deal that much damage, and that damage is the deck of your opponent, basically, or a hand. And there's those special combos as well that you try to create, and they deal even more damage. And that's it. Lay the cards down, reveal, whoever won the round does his combo, does their combo, boom, next round. It's fast. it just and the different fighters do a little bit differently, and they kind of feel different in a sense how you play some of the cards. Some of them have more red cards, or more aggressive. Some of them are more blue cards, more defensive, and they are a little bit different in distribution of the damage as well. So yeah, that's that.
Yeah, it's a good game. I like this one. I haven't played it in a while, but I do remember. I remember the first time I played it, I was way into it, and I jumped right in and got all of the sets. And I played it a lot after that, but it's one I'll have to give another try to, I think.
Come back to this beautiful game. All right.
Well, beautiful is probably not the right word.
It doesn't look bad.
Yeah. Okay.
All right, another game that's easy to get into, and it, at least for me, it works. And I showed this game to other casual gamers. I think they asked me if they could borrow a game. They were going somewhere. They said that if I have a lighter game, then I said, it's this one. Take it, you'll like it, because they like social deduction. And they also like kind of fighting each other. So they bought King of Tokyo, which they struggled a bit. I mean, like, they are very casual games. Like, they are not into board games at all. So it was a little bit. It took a little bit of time to get into King of Tokyo for them, but eventually they got it. And this one, when I borrowed it to them, they didn't play it. But then we sat down together and I showed them the game. I didn't play it because it's up to 5 players only. There was 5 of them, but I kind of managed. I was like a host, a manager. The Grim Masquerade. I am the champion of this game. Number 33, The Grim Masquerade.
What? Wait, what? You like this game? I never would have guessed.
Yeah. I really enjoy it, and one huge problem with this game is that, first of all, it's not that easy to get. It's out of print. And second, and there was never any expansions, because I didn't think it did that well. But for me, it's an amazing social deduction game, because it's beautiful. It's this grim fairy tales theme, and you're trying to unmask other players, and you are playing those artifacts, and you play those. You basically draw 2 cards during your turn. You play one of the artifacts to yourself, and then you have to play another artifact to another player, or vice versa. And so when you have several copies of the same card, basically you have to unmask if you are that person, because each character has a boon and a bane, basically things they want to collect and things they don't want to collect. And you win the round by collecting things you do want to collect, 3 of them, or you're out of the round if you collect 2 things that you didn't want to. It's a little bit nasty. You try to play the artifacts and other players trying to unmask them. If they are not that person, that character, they must put the disc down of their color showing, and eventually you get even more information who they are not, so you can deduce who they are. And you can use special abilities like pointing the finger or shuffling up artifacts, yeah. And just it's a very easy game. It just works. It's not many rules. Like, it's just draw 2 cards, play one for yourself, play one to another player. That's it. Nothing else. And the roses stuff. There's some modules where the loser of the round gets a special ability. There's that treasure thing where you can use the special ability right away with another card. It's like a copies that card. There's small modules that I usually don't even touch. Sometimes if we play the game several times, I can bring them out. But usually if I play with somebody casual who hasn't played any games before, it's vanilla version. And I really hope someday they will reprint it and bring out some more content.
Yeah, well, I mean, so this is the problem with this kind of game. Obviously, is that you need the right group for it. It has to be people who enjoy this sort of deduction aspect of it. But I had a great time with it when I played it with you. So
yeah, it's the right group, because the people I taught it to, those 5 people, I didn't play myself. Oh, that game was perfect for them. And I think eventually I found a copy somewhere on BGT from Croatia or something like, or Portugal. I don't know, but like I found a copy for them and bought it for them, and so they gave money, so I bought it for them. So yeah, that's now they have this game, and they enjoy this a lot. They were so into each other's throats. They were laughing all the time. It's like you can see a lot of joy coming out of this game. It's cool. I like making people joyous about games.
I'm glad.
And without cheeses.
Oh, sad.
Yeah. Anyway, let's get to my number 32. Just few more games left. You have to sit here just a little bit longer. I'm sorry,
Okay.
guys. We're taking it slow, but I wanna. If it's top 50, I wanna talk about these games. I wanna, explain those games. I wanna explain why I like them. Number 32 is a game that is higher on my list, of course, than Anachrony, but it's from the same publisher. But I think let's say during some of the days I might say that I like Anachrony more, but the biggest problem with Anachrony is just it's bloated in a physical sense, and this one is also bloated, but I don't know. Anachrony is a little bit more complicated. This one felt really good, and that's Septima, number 32. Septima is about the witches. You go around the board, you collect ingredients, you create potions, you're trying to cure people. There is sometimes, if you do a lot of shady stuff because you're a witch, and anything you do, even curing people of blindness, etc., is heresy. So there's those hunters that hunt you down, and they catch your witches, and you can have several witches. there's all of that. The cool part about the game, which I also liked in what was the Trickerion as well, the action selection, where you play down a card and then they're like rolls or something like that. I don't know how to explain exactly.
Mm-hmm.
And you choose what to do. When you play down a card, you cannot play it until you collect all the cards back, all of that stuff. With the shapeshift expansion, you can. So basically, when you do a lot of stuff will make you grow suspicion on you. So the hunters will start hunting you. So if you want to lower suspicion, you will shapeshift into an animal. With an animal, you'll be able to do some of the actions and etc. So there's that cool part about that. So sometimes you turn into an animal, but then you have to be sure that you can do the actions you did want to do, because with a human form you can do all of the actions. With animal you can do like 3 different actions, and you're trying to kind of think in advance what actions in what order you can do. There's that casual version, whatever, I don't know, introduction version. There's that full game version. Just play the full game. Don't play without the full game. Is this board of special abilities, the cards, and you move up the track, the magical track with symbols, whatever you like. If you play a certain action, then you can move up. Then you get those special ability cards, which is a lot of fun. They kind of customize you. And yeah, just I got I think the Kickstarter version, the deluxe version, which has this cool insert, and it's all organized, and it's not that hard to set it up with that insert. And it has cool tokens. It just nice. I wouldn't say it's beautiful, but it's graphically
Not
pleasing.
Beautiful.
It's a nice production, I would say.
Mm-hmm.
So I really enjoy Septima, and how you use the potions. Yeah,
I found it to be a lot better than I was really expecting it would be.
Yeah. And I played it for the first time during the cruise with a couple who was arguing a lot, and
going through a divorce.
something like that, and then they kind of they eventually they were like, I love you, that's all good, kind of a thing. But it seems like this couple is always on the edge and playing against each other, and they were really AP prone people.
Wonderful.
And for me, when I
way to play that.
Yeah. So for me, when I played it for the first time, it's just there's a lot of information. We played with the expansion, full game. There's a lot of information going on. I didn't understand half of the things I did. Of course, it was not like when you play many games during the cruise. It just becomes tiring to play some of the heavier games. But this one, yeah, I wasn't AP prone to this game because I just chose something to see what happens. It's like the first game, I was like, I don't want to think too much about that. There's so much going on. I'm just trying to try it out and see if I want to buy it or not. And I didn't have a great time with this game, but I understood that it's people and the session itself that wasn't great.
Great time.
And I bought this game and played with another person, and we had a lot of fun. So much more fun.
Yeah, I enjoy it. It's different than you'd think it would be, and it's terrible solo. But
I don't play
but
solo.
I had a good time with it. Well, then you won't have that bad experience.
Great. All right, let's get to another one, which is a smaller game now, which you also enjoy a lot, and you probably bought this this weird special edition huge box, which also has the new expansion, or like a set. Let's say not the expansion, a set that has those different doors or something like that. Do you know what I'm talking about?
Doors?
The game that has 5 sets now. I mean, the 5th one is via Kickstarter. and you have this kind of a deluxe big box that you can fit all your smaller things in. I have my game in 2 boxes.
Okay. I'm not sure what you're talking
It
about here.
starts with S, it ends with R.
SMR.
Yes, it is. 31 is silver.
Ah, no, I
You
did not
just
buy the deluxe huge box version.
you did. You did.
Mhm.
But it's when I looked at this one, I was like, why? It's it's useless.
No, it's a big box.
Just make this like so this it's a small box. So just make this make a little bit bigger box, just a little bit bigger. Even let's say twice as big. And that's it. You can fit anything into that. Even sleeved cards, etc. You can just fit it all in one box then. Doesn't need
I
to be
see.
fancy with doors opening, whatever it was, like a
But it looks
huge
pretty
book.
good.
It's useless.
Well, it's useful to store everything because it won't fit very well in 2 boxes.
Yeah, but it's not going to be a travel game anymore.
Well, that's why you have 2 versions. Because the new version on the Kickstarter, you could get. I just bought it with everything in it, so I'll have a version to travel with and a version to play at home.
Yeah. The only thing I realized that it seems like the 5th expansion or whatever set is only with this huge copy. It's not, or is it going to be sold separately? I don't know.
I'm sure it'll be sold separately.
Because I want to buy just a separate set. Not all of the
Mhm.
sets are great, but I would encourage to buy several sets so you can mix and match and create your own
Mhm.
best set that you play with. So this is a game about drawing a card. It has the number, it has the ability, and then you are trying to do something with the card. You can use it as ability, or you can use it as a number by exchanging the card. So from your tableau, you have a tableau of cards. Maybe I can show it. You have a tableau of cards in front of you, and all of them are face down at the beginning. You can only look at 2 cards at in the beginning, and you're trying to get your tableau as small as possible with the smallest possible numbers. Whoever has the lowest score wins that round and eventually wins the game as well. And you have different sets which have those small tokens like daggers and coins, which are just small little bonuses abilities. But it's a lot of fun. You just draw a card and do something good. Either exchange with the one in your tableau, hopefully exchanging bigger number into smaller number, or you can use its ability, or you can draft a card from the discard pile on top of the discard pile if somebody accidentally threw out a card with number 1, or 0. So all of that.
Mm-hmm.
And it's chaotic, and sometimes some cards
It is.
like goblins that you can put in. Then you have those zombies. Then zombies are complicated. I try to not play with zombies.
Zombies kind of ruin the game. Everything about everything becomes about them. So, but everything else is very enjoyable.
Yeah, there's some cards that let you shuffle all of the cards from an opponent, and then once he knew something, now he knows nothing. So yeah.
Well, only the face down cards.
Yeah, but it's a chaotic game in a sense.
Oh, very much so.
A lot of fun, and
Yeah,
it's a travel game. We always play it while traveling
at the airport.
to the cruise. Yeah. All right. Number 30 is a game that it seems like I'm also like the champion of this game, and Victor didn't like this game, but he was so tired when he played the game, and I'm sure he would have liked it more if he wasn't that tired. This game is called Last Aurora, number 30, Last Aurora. With the expansions, some of them are cool, some of them are okay, but it's like more variety. So
Mm-hmm.
the game itself is a race game, which I usually don't like. I don't like race games, but with this game, it's all based on the cards. So you have your cards, you play them, you use them up, they become exhausted. You need to have resources to bring them back faster. and you can buy new cards. You can go like exploring, and then you get new cards. And the other cool part is that you build up your truck on top here, and you can eventually exchange the engine, the trailers to store more stuff. You're traveling through the map and going through the hazards, etc., trying to catch the aurora. The last aurora is the ship. You're trying to catch the ship. You will never catch the ship. It's it's really hard to catch the ship.
It's very difficult to catch the ship.
One part that I don't like that much is that the scoring is not so interesting. The scoring is very small. Few things give you points. The expansions add a little bit more, and there's also different maps. And the base map is not that cool. The other maps are a little bit more interesting. And there's the story cards, which is very small stuff. It's not that huge, but special abilities or special decks. So each one of you becomes a kind of a faction with a special deck. That's cool. I like that. There's some other modules that you can put in. Both expansions are small in a sense, so still a lot of fun building up your tableau of cards, using them, building your truck physically, and then you can put weapons on top of your truck or whatever, the fuel canisters. Now you can fuel up your truck with vegetables, and then you fight the raiders, and it's this one is a little bit more complicated, fighting the raiders. But once you get through that, it's not that bad. Still a lot of fun.
Yeah. I like this. I wish there were an easier way to store and sort it. It's kind of a mess.
Yes.
Yes. I think I did play it with Victor a few more times, and he enjoyed it more when we played it, when it wasn't with you.
Yeah, I know. He wasn't listening to the rules anyway. When we played, he doesn't want to listen to me. Anyway. All right, let's get to number 29. We have 4 games left. Let's go through them. Number 29 is a game that is published by Stonemaier Games. It's a sequel to Scythe, though I would say...
Is it...
I don't want to...
Wait. Is it Pendulum?
Yes. I don't want to name it a sequel. Yeah, I didn't want to name it a direct sequel to Scythe. I mean, like... Story-wise, maybe, but it has similar mechanism in a sense, but it's a very different game, in my opinion. It's Expeditions. So if you like Expeditions, you might not like Scythe at all. If you like Scythe, you might not like Expeditions at all. They're very different games. Just shut up and listen. Not you.
Okay.
Anyway, yeah. No, I'm just not. It says sequel, but it's not.
Mm-hmm.
Sequel to Scythe would be something else for me.
I see.
Direct sequel. Anyway, this is a card game. Yeah, this is so this is a card game where and you have the board as well, and you move around the board, you discover those locations, and you clean them of the corruption, and you use the board to get workers, to get cards, to get whatever else you can get, resources, and you just move around the board and try to maximize your. So you play cards. They can be quests. They can be cards with workers on them. You need workers in order to activate those cards, and then it's a tableau building in a sense as well. So it's hard to explain. It's just you're trying to it
is a weird game.
Efficiently play your cards, and then they are multi-use. Some of them can be rotated sideways. They become molded, whatever, and then the quest cards, and the only same thing in like
not
melded. Oh, melded. Yeah, sorry. One thing what's similar to Scythe is that you are putting down those stars, and when you get certain amount of stars on the board, the game ends. That's the only thing. It's like trying to get to the objectives, and then you get points based on stars multiplied by something else. Blah blah blah. It's the usual thing.
It's
Yeah.
very much an efficiency puzzle, and it's very much a game that's better at a player count that is a number lower than or equal to 3. Um,
Yeah. I played it. I played it 3-player. I don't think I want to play it 4-player.
you don't.
Now, cool part about the game is that you have this move. Uh, there are 3 actions basically: move, use a tile, or something like, I don't know, move, play, use, something like that,
hmm
or collect, something like that,
Move, play, and harvest or collect.
or
Gather. That's
harp,
the word.
gather.
Gather.
Okay, yeah. So you have those 3 actions, and at first you can do all 3, but then eventually put the cube down on one of those. And each round you will move the cube to another action. You can never do 2 of the same actions in a row, but you like, let's say if you do play and gather, next time you have to cover that play or gather, and maybe now you do play and move or whatever.
hmm
And that's a cool part about the game. And there's the expansion that adds. So the game doesn't scale. The game board doesn't scale based on the player count. And I heard that with 2 players, the board is just too big. And one thing that the expansion adds, and I haven't played expansion yet, but one thing expansion adds is the corruption uh, mech or something like that. There's
Yeah,
more of the same stuff, and then
basically.
there's that mech that moves around and corrupts you, whatever. I don't remember. So
Yeah, so what it does is it comes into play if you remember to put it into play. And then it's just going to move to a space, and if you happen to be in that space, you'll suffer some kind of a penalty. But it has basically a lot of corruption on it that's a little cheaper than the ones that are on the field often. And so if you're next to it, you can just sort of suck the cards off of it, and they count as corruption for you, and then eventually it goes away.
and the exploration tokens, which were useless in the base game, and now they have bonuses. But I heard
Yeah.
some bad stuff about that. That some
Oh,
of those tokens are, I just some people said that some of those tokens are better than the others, so you can get lucky by finding a better. But
yeah. I
I
mean,
think
it
it's a
just
small thing.
it encourages you to explore, which there really was very little incentive to do beforehand, unless you had the one character that can use those tokens. So I really like those because it sort of helps the board open up, and I like the dual layer player boards. Those are very nice, so your tokens don't move
Oh,
around,
I see. Yeah.
and it comes with some new characters. It's a fine expansion.
Yeah, I also thought that I wouldn't have, I don't think I will have a problem with those things. I just heard about that, but I'm like, but who cares? I like a little bit of random. I want a little bit more random here. Just
hmm
this exploration to be more interesting. That's
And you
what I
get
like in
one
games.
wild worker to start the game with, and there's variable
Hmm.
setups for the different characters too. And I
Oh
like both of those.
yeah. Wild Worker is a lot. That's a huge step. Okay. Because workers are very much needed here, and it's hard to get them. And at first, everybody is just blocking the space, getting the workers. And then if you have your one worker, you can just do something else, not just go for the worker spot right away.
That's right.
All right, let's get to number 28, which is the game. And I might be biased because this game has the same shirt printed on one of the cards with my face on it, and you
Oh,
might have seen. So the thumbnail of this video also has this same character, which is also in the game. I have not played with my own character yet, but I have it, so it's just cool to be in a board game. One of a one chance in a lifetime. That's number 28. Seize the Bean.
I see.
Now,
I've not
Seize
played
the
this
Bean
one.
is about. Yeah, you have not.
No.
It's I wouldn't say it's highly regarded, but and no, it's just you can see there's a lot of stuff. The box that I have, so they sent me a copy of this with everything, like all of the expansions, and most of these expansions are exclusive or will not be in the new edition of the game that they said they will
Another
print the new
new
edition.
edition.
No, I mean like not the editions. Like they had this kind of a deluxe Kickstarter thing, and then some of the stuff they will not be available anymore, and they will, because of the printing costs, they don't want to do a Kickstarter again, so they want to just go to retail right away, and then they will not. They will kind of downsize some of the production, which I welcome, because otherwise this game will be just too expensive and too risky for them to print.
Mm-hmm.
Anyway, Seize the Bean is about having a coffee shop, and then you are drafting different ingredients and putting them on the right and the left side, and you activate those like in worker spots. You have 2 workers, and then you are serving customers, and then you have those cars, those people. You can also draft them from here, and eventually you will. So you have to put down here a certain number of customers. They come to your shop, and you want to serve them. And if they are not served, they become unhappy, and you get minus points. If they are served well, they might even give you extra review, which is plus points. All of those small tokens are small reviews that are just small text. And some of them are funny, some of them are not so funny. You can see those reviews, and then there's the bad reviews, just 1-star reviews, like on the Yelp thing.
I see.
And it's just fun to having the line of customers, trying to serve them. It's also like about efficiency, how you manage your resources, and when you build up the different cars, they have those icons. Now you can have like cake, and if you have the cake, then
can you eat it too?
You can replace cake with like 2 sugars, but now if you have a cake symbol, now you only spend 1 sugar, and there's coffee beans, and this one has this sugar like things and milk, and they're very much, the coffee beans are like coffee beans, very realistic. I like that a lot. Now there's a ton of, so I played on the base. There's a ton of different decks. So like for example, there was in Elysium where you only play with a certain number of decks, though you have more of them. It's the same here. You choose some of the decks. There's the rulebook is huge, and with the expansion, the 2 rulebooks is just a lot. The rules are not heavy. It's just there's a lot of iconography. The only thing about this game also is you will look through the rulebook a lot. It's maybe they have this kind of maybe somebody created files for it to be printed to glance at different symbols in an easier way, kind of a reference sheet. There's not that one, because there's a lot of icons. What cards do, there's no text. It's a multilingual, language independent game.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, the expansions, they add some stuff. They add some new rules. You can mix and match. You can do different groups of customers. Basically, you can create different one of them, make the game very different. And there's also that promo board game media customer group where there's my card as well.
Ah, I see.
So that's why I'm very biased.
That's
you can
why
see
you
those.
like this game.
Yeah, you can see the sugar, the coffee beans.
Yeah,
that's you look at those. I also have them. I mean, it's a beautiful game.
That looks fantastic.
There's a coffee cup as well. There's like coffee cup that is half full, or I think empty, or this one is full. It's at some point you can grab a half full coffee cup, which means you will become the first player next time. And the one who is the first player right now has this full coffee cup in front of them. So it's not like you go in circles. You sometimes can manipulate and become the first player before the others. It's a lot of small production stuff that is a lot of fun.
Mm-hmm.
And I have all of that, just all of that, and the box barely closes.
Yeah, I that's always fun. I would like to try this someday, but it's not particularly easy to come by here. So
I'll bring it.
Well, you have said that before.
Didn't I bring it? I think I
No.
brought it one time, and I'll bring it this time. This time I'll bring it. I'll try not to forget, and maybe we'll be able to play it with others as well, or on the cruise. If nobody else, if I don't think they have this game in the library, so it might be the game that other people might also be interested in.
Perhaps.
All right, my number 27, last two games. It's a longer episode, I know, but 25 games to go through. Number 27 is a fighting game. The one that I'm not opposed to, though I'm not a huge area control, area majority fighting game connoisseur.
Okay.
I just don't like them. This one I enjoy because it has those Euro elements, it has engine building in it, and it's just straightforward fighting. You cannot go turtling, you cannot... with many of those games, when somebody attacks you, it sometimes becomes maybe personal. In here, you're just attacking everybody, and everybody is attacking you. It doesn't feel personal. It doesn't feel like somebody is trying to just make your time in this game miserable or something like that. I don't know how to explain it. Number 27, Kemet, Blood and Sand. The new version of Kemet. And I think it has it will have the expansion, which I did not back because the pricing is bad. I said to myself, no, I'm not paying for that. I'll find it after in the aftermarket, maybe for cheaper price.
Maybe
because the expansion is big, and like. The shipping is almost the same as the price of the expansion.
Got it.
To Estonia, it's like I'm gonna pay like $60, I don't know, $70 of shipping. I'm like, what? Who is your distributor? Many companies have the shipping. Like, let's say, okay, if it's gonna be, it's not a huge. The expansion is not gonna be a huge box. It's like Gloomhaven.
It will.
Yeah, but I mean, like, no, it's. There was that big box. Yeah, sorry. There was that big box. But still, $30. Okay. More than that, change your distributors or do something about that. Change your price politics. Because Metagod is not a small company. They just want to get more and more money. Anyway, let's talk about Kemet, Blood and Sand. Yeah. So, yeah, as I said, you have the troops, you have the monsters, and you play through those action tokens that you have. You have the planchette, you put the stuff on there, and you get the prey points, you build up your pyramids, you get the tiles. Then one of the main things about the game are those different tiles, which I cannot find right now. Let them be, but it's an engine building. You can see here. And this is how you build yourself up, make yourself different from the others, get the monsters, and just fight each other, try to control the temples, trying to get to the 9 points, and begin the round or something like that. You have to begin the round with 9 points, and then, because you have permanent points, you have permanent and non-permanent points. I don't remember the other words.
Temporary?
Temporary, yes. And some of those temporary points, somebody can snatch it away from you. So, which is a lot of fun. Yeah, and building up your tableau of those tiles and becoming all powerful is great. Kemet, Blood and Sand.
Powerful.
In your face game.
It definitely is.
Yeah, do you like it?
I love Kemet. I mean, I like it with... It's a hard game to play. There's lots of people who like it less. And it really requires the right... More than many other games, this one really requires you to have just the right group for it. So I've had bad plays of Kemet, but on the whole, I really enjoy it.
Yeah, because I was on the verge of selling it just because of that. Because I played recently with a person who I thought will like it, with other people as well, but maybe those other people encouraged him not to like it. because they were
Encouraged
complaining,
him
you
not to
know.
like it.
Yeah, but, like if there's a group of people and then the other, like, let's say we play a 4-player game and one person plays it for the first time. Of course, the first time um it's not that easy to get into. You have to play it the second time in order to kind of
Hmm.
understand how the engine building works, and it's in your face. You know, he's fine with that. But one of the people, they played with us, but they didn't like fighting games at all. So he was just collecting the tiles and not really playing
Hmm.
the game. So it kind of ruined the experience because if one person is not really in the game, and another person who played it, he didn't really like the game. So if the mood around the table is that, oh, I don't care or I don't like, then it can change the perspective of that one person I thought will really like it. And I
Sure.
think it changed it. And I told him he needs to play it again, but with other people.
Okay.
Because with the right group, he will like it more. I'm sure of that. All right.
Yeah.
Let's get to the final number 26. And
Okay.
then 25 more. But not today.
Oh. All right.
My number
What could it be? What could
26.
it be?
It's a new entry. It's a new entry.
Ooh.
But and I'm nowadays more into thematic adventure story games because they just work. They usually don't drown you in many rules. You just go around, enjoy, read. Most of them are cooperative, and it just works. Cooperative games
Mm.
are easier to work with in regards of new players. Lands of Galzier, number 26.
Mm-hmm.
Yet again, I didn't back the expansion, but uh, with backing the stuff, as I said before, I don't want to back stuff anymore because it's usually 1+ years to wait. And I'm gonna forget about that. And at that point when it comes, I might not want it anymore. I might look and let's say I'm gonna at some point be tired of Lands of Galzir and I will sell it, or I wanna sell it, but then because of the expansion that comes out that I backed, I was like, I would be like, no, it's gonna sit on my shelf because I have the expansion. So if I sell it, then I have to sell expansion separately, etc. So anyway, I'm not bagging stuff anymore,
I see.
especially if it takes a lot of time. I just wait till it comes out, and if it's not the shiny deluxeified Kickstarter exclusive version, I don't care. I can take the core game and I'll be fine with that.
Hmm.
Lands of
Okay.
Galzir is adventure game. You go around the board, you do objectives, you discover stuff. There's that system of cards that it's a little bit like Seventh Continent, which you have those numbers and you take out those numbers of cards, and you have the skill set. You kind of do the skill checks when you like fight or do whatever objective you do. Uh, you have to collectively. So there's the competitive version and cooperative version. It's a competitive game in a sense, but it's not like you're really competing with each other. With cooperative variant, you are just trying to combine your like you're trying to get to a certain number of points on one particular track. So you are combining your strength, which I liked it as a cooperative game. The saving system, how you put it away, is very straightforward and easy.
True.
Really enjoyed that, and getting it out again. I don't know. It's just a beautifully crafted game, and I enjoyed the cuteness of it. And as I said, story games nowadays is my go-to thing. I want to play story games and story games and story games. Endless Heroes.
Yeah. This one is probably about 80% story and 20% game. Um,
Which
yeah, and that's
which is fine
fine.
with me.
It doesn't really feel like it has an end, though, right? You sort of get to the end, and did you win or did you lose? It's more, well, I had this adventure, and I can find this creature that will show up next time. So, I mean, as long as you
Yep.
can approach it like that, I think if you had kids, it'd be great. For me, I enjoyed it, but I was hoping for more game, and it's a lot of story.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Yeah, I was okay with that. There's gonna be another game that is also a lot of story, but also maybe a little bit more game. But I mean, like as I said, I'm fine with that. I want less
Yeah,
mechanisms. I
nothing
just
wrong
want
with
to
it.
sometimes enjoy adventure. Yeah,
It's very peaceful.
yeah. It's like Destinies, which is not on my list. I will tell it right away. For some reason, I didn't put Destinies on my list. I
Mm,
enjoyed it, but maybe I didn't rate it that high. Maybe I'll
okay.
enjoy the expansion more. But Destinies is something similar where there's not much going on with the mechanisms. You just scan stuff and then you go through the story. There's like not a lot of gameplay, but it's still fun. All right. That's it for today.
Oh, so soon?
Yes. It's been almost 2 hours. That's a
Oh, the
lot of
time's
talking.
just
That's a
flown
lot of,
by.
yeah, that's a lot of stuff going on. So thank you for watching,
Oh,
and come back for the final 25 games. There's a lot of games, a lot of cool games that Kyle also enjoys, and we'll see how it goes.
how many are on the top 25?
25 games are on
Ah,
the
there we
top
go.
25.
Good. Making sure.
There's 25 games. Yeah,
Okay, good.
simple math. Simple math.
Well, sometimes some people will cram an extra game or two into their top 25.
Oh, I do have. I didn't think I didn't. No, 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 no. Look, I don't think we encountered some of the games that I kind of combine into one entry.
Okay.
But for a particular reason, I just, you know, there are few games that it's the same game almost. It's just I
Okay.
cannot really. It's this King of Tokyo, King of New York situation where many people combine them. They are different game in a sense, but some people just
But those
said,
two are
"Oh, it's
different.
a." But if it's a variation on the same game, I like it's. I feel like it's criminally wrong to put two
Criminally
of them,
wrong.
both of them on the list. For example, I enjoy both of
You
them
think
the
someone
same
should
way.
go to jail if they put two on the
Yeah,
list? I see.
yeah,
Or
yeah.
be
No,
executed?
or be executed. Yeah, no. Actually, with some of the games, I feel like it's just taking up the space that I enjoy them equally. It's the
Hmm.
variation. It's like
Okay.
putting all of the zombie sides on your list. No, combine all of the
Ooh.
zombie sides. They're the
No,
same.
no, no. They're all separate. Very different.
Yeah, yeah, it's the same game. Just oh, this is the West. Now this is the whatever Marvel Heroes, whatever it's. But it's all the same. The system. Everything is the same. You just
I,
run around and do
well,
boring stuff.
do you know that they're the same? Have you played them all?
No, but I've seen how it's played.
All
It's
right.
not
You're
different.
already getting defensive, and we haven't even started recording the list yet. I'm excited for this. This is that sort of end of episode teaser of what's coming.
Yeah,
So,
yeah, but you'll see, you'll see, you'll see. But I will
uh-huh.
defend those decisions I made on this list.
All right.
Technically, yes, there's more than 25 games.
Okay.
Technically,
The top more than 25 games.
yes.
All right.
All right. Thank you, everyone, for watching. Take care. We'll see you most likely next week because I don't want
Oh,
to. Yeah, I don't want to wait too much till
all
because
right.
we didn't have any episodes for a while, and then
That's
now we're
true.
gonna treat you with 2 episodes back to back.
Very well.
Woo! Bye bye.
Bye-bye.